All right, on tonight's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our generative AI course. Let's have a look at what we went over tonight. We're still going over the function calling. Tonight we have created another function call. It's still a basic, but it's a little more complicated because we used a for loop for this one. We didn't get to the advanced one yet. So let's go over the steps that we actually took. So now we will go over another example of function calls. The second part of our code will be written as a for loop. Now, this is our code that we will write in our notebook. You can see here student info equals student one, student two. For student info, response equals client dot completions dot create. This is the information we want here, the model that we're sending it to, the message that we want back, the role, the user, content equals the student's information, function equals function one, function call equals auto. This is the response that we want back, is the JSON.loads. This is how we want our response back, and then we're going to print that response. So inside this for loop, we have defined a list. Inside this list, we have two descriptions, student one, student two. Now we will copy and paste the student description from our previous example. We will paste it above our new advanced code in our Jupyter notebook. When we run it, we should get back the original student description that we wrote for our student description. I'm going to show you all this stuff when we get done reading. I'm going to head over to the notebook. Now we will use this student description to replace the student one in our student info list. Now we will create one more variable and call it student description 2 and set it equal to the description from our original student description. So this is our student description 2 here, but we actually altered it so it can be different from the information from student description 1. And now we will change up the information so that now we will change the information that we assigned to student 2 so that it is distinct from the information assigned to student 1. Now we will replace the student 2 in student info list with this new student description 2 in our Jupyter notebook. Now what we're going to do is change the function 1 that our function is assigned to in our advanced. And this is not advanced. This wasn't the advanced one. It was just the another version of the basic code. Let's put that here for now. So now what we're going to do is we are going to change the function 1 that our function is assigned to in our basic function to student custom function we created previously. The function call will stay the same or stay assigned to auto. Now we can run the code and get back our output response. We should get back two responses, one for each student in our student info list. Let's go down a little bit more so we can do some reading. Now we will add a third student to our student info list. Now that we have our student description 3 defined and we have passed into our student info list, we will be able to generate an output for this student as well when we run the code. So we will be getting back 3 output responses now. Now this is still pretty basic, and we will look at a true advanced function with our next example. So I'm going to show everything that we did over here in the notebook. So as you can see, this is our student description. From previously, I just brought it down. I brought it down because we had some breaks in the code, so I couldn't just bring down the student description variable because it wasn't actually initialized down here. So I just brought the whole thing down and initialized it, and then we used the student description here to call it. As you can see, everything did come back good. Usually, everything is going to be in one straight line, so we don't have to bring the whole thing over. We could have just brought the variable over and still got the information. But yeah, so we got the student description, got us our information. Then we have the student description 2 with our new information here. And then we got student description 3 with his information also. So we actually implemented that here in the student info. You see that's equal to student description 2, student description 3. Then for student info, we still ran all the same things here. Functions equals student custom function. Let me show you where we got that from. That's actually from up here when we actually created this. Let me go back. Wait, why is it going all over the place like that? 1 second. Here we go. I see it here. It's actually here. So we can just use this student custom function here. That's where we got that from. So this is the style we want the information back from, or how we want the information back from our students. So yeah, that's what we actually set that to. And then yeah, role is still a user because we are the user. The content we want is the stu. And then yeah, the function call is still auto. The response we want is the JSON.loads. That's how we want our information to come back in that format, and then we're going to print the responses. So yeah, if we were connected to the chat GPT, we would run it and we would get back the information that we wanted for each of these students. So we would get back 3 responses, one for this student, one for this student, and one for this student, and it would be based off of all 3 of these descriptions that we gave them. Yep, so that's everything we did for the night. And, yep, so tomorrow we're going to do an advanced version of what we did tonight. So we're going to keep moving forward. And of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, this is the Python Poppy. You guys stay Gucci.